For number 20, a lot of times when you see a table, you are probably tempted to go with a scatter plot. And I'm actually going to start it off that route, and then we're going to change directions as we go. So grab your calculator, press stat, and we're going to enter these data in. So let's clear anything that's in there, clear it out. And for the x values, that would be L1. We need to put pi over 2, and there, just get your pi button, second, and it's the caret right here. And then pi divided by 2. When I hit enter, it's going to give me a decimal approximation. That's fine. So 3 pi divided by 4, pi, 5 pi over 4, and 3 pi over 2. There we go. All right, let's go over and type L2 in. Okay, we're going to turn our scatter plot on, just because it's a good habit to get into. So second, scatter plot, turn plot 1 on, make sure that it's L1 and L2, which it is. Make sure it's a scatter plot, not any of the other things, which it is. And if you press zoom 9, oops, I think I messed up. First of all, I need to clear out my y equals. If you have other stuff in there, you can clear it out. And then zoom 9, I press zoom 6 instead. So there we go. It looks like a triangle, but actually it's going to be periodic. It's going to be some kind of function that comes down here and it does this. Now, our next step normally would be to press stat, go over to calc, and choose sinusoidal regression. But let's stop and think about it for a second. Look at your answer choices. None of them are sine, they're all cosine. And so we have to do something different. We've got to rethink this thing, because what we're about to do is not going to work. So we have a couple options. I'm going to give you the option that I think works best. Let's press y equals. And let's type that in. 0.5 cosine of 2x minus pi. I didn't need that extra set of parentheses in there. Oops. Not a big deal. In this case, it's still going to work out the same. Okay, I'm about to make an intentional mistake, but just follow me. If you press graph, we want to see how well it coincides with those coordinates, and we see it only hits 2 of them. Let me tell you why. If you notice, in your graph, in your table, you have you have lots of pi's. That carries the implication that this is not in degrees, it is in radians. When you have pi, you are most likely in radians. Because of that, we need to convert to radians in our calculator. Go to radian mode is what I mean. So press mode, turn it to radians. Now, when we're done with this problem, it might be a good idea to change back. It might be, it might not. But it depends on the next problem that we see and whether or not it deals with radians. Now, if you're moving in order, you'll notice that you are going to remain in radians for the next problem. But it's a good idea to be cognizant, that means aware. It's a good idea to be cognizant of what mode you're in, whether it's radians or degrees. Okay, so let's press graph again. Oh, that fits it very well. So more than likely the answer is A. So keeping that in mind, we're going to test the other ones. Just because you found one answer that you think works doesn't mean it's necessarily the right one. So we should test the other ones just to make sure. So knowing that A might be the answer, we're going to make sure that we're not wrong. So 0.5 cosine of x minus pi. I'll just hit delete. If we hit graph, oh no, absolutely not. That's terrible. It's not B. And again, the reason I'm doing this is because there comes a point sometimes where 2 answers might work and they might have subtle differences. And so we need to make sure we're picking the right one. So let's press y equals again. 0.5 cosine of 2x. Whoa, not that. Y equals again. Of 2x plus pi over 2. Press graph. Whoa, nope, not that one. It's a pretty graph, and it's not that one. Oops, y equals, and then cosine of 2x plus pi over 2. And we press graph, and it's not that one. So sure enough, it was A. And again, you're probably wondering why we went through all that stuff when we found the answer the first time. Just to make sure. Because if you have time while you're taking the test, it is a time test, but if you have time, verify, make sure.